Commander, Corporal Nyrek reporting. Captain Riley is on point waiting for you.
Okay. Cool. What the heck is this? Is that a person? I think it is. Hold on just a second here. Because there's a chest plate for us to pick up. So the other thing, for all of you Mass Effect 3 multiplayer people out there, you should immediately recognize this location. And you would probably know, just based on the description I was giving you earlier, that there's a challenge that is based on this area. But yeah, this is an arena, an area for Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. It is the Reactor, Firebase Reactor map. Ooh. Medical treatment plan.
A treatment plan for chemical burns. This is pretty detailed.
And I believe that may be a quest item. So we should save. It's actually been a really long time since we last saved. Okay, and I suppose we should chat with Nyrek here.
How long have you served in this outfit, Corporal?
3 tours. Been through thick and thicker. The captain always sees us through.
Nice.
Stay sharp today.
Always, Commander.
Always.
It's an honor, Commander. It's an honor, Commander.
Alright. So that's Nyrek. Is this a person? It is. A random soldier.
Confirming. Toxic radiation cutting access to most of the grid. Survival in hotspots not possible.
Okay, so it sounds like we don't want to go down there. Otherwise, we die. Noted.
Ventilation system is shut down. Might be enough auxiliary power to activate fans on the main floor. Radiation cutting access to most of the grid. Need to ventilate.
Okay. Need to get rid of this stuff. Ventilate it out.
There should be a control access point for the ventilation system.
But
If
where?
there is, we'll find it.
Okay.
Confirming. Toxic radiation cutting
Yeah,
access
that's
to
the
most
last
of the
from,
grid.
or we've heard that
Survival in
before.
hotspots not
So let's, before we forget, activate disruptor ammo on all of our weapons, because Ashley does have the squad version. Could be quite useful. Okay, but I think for the most part, yeah, we'll stick with the Acolyte. Probably have Javik on the Typhoon for the most part, and same with Ashley. Okay, and we could test the whole theory we had before about there being a bug with Marksman before, where it would glitch Ashley out and she would just completely get stuck whenever you activate it. That was apparently the case in the original Mass Effect trilogy, but she's fine now. This, I believe, is the person we're looking for. And so again, this is a mission that I talked about many, many times with all my Mass Effect 3 friends and Mass Effect 3 multiplayer friends, and I just could not remember it, even after I played some challenges that were themed after this very mission. So I'm very excited to finally try it out and see what it's all about.
Captain Riley?
Commander, it's an honor.
Commander, Captain Riley has me scanning the facility. It's a dual reactor system, so you'll have to break up into 2 teams.
Oh,
Roger that.
The fuel rods for both reactors need to be unlocked before we can initiate a restart. Your route is blocked. Captain Riley's man is working to clear the obstacles.
Understood, Lieutenant. Got it, Captain.
Good work, Kozlo.
oh,
I'll take it from here.
this guy Kozlo? Seems like he did the job. Okay. Anything else from Captain Riley?
We're facing an unknown enemy here, Captain.
If they're still on site, my team will help send them to hell.
Yeah, do we have any idea what we're going against here? Care to give us any intel?
Ready your team to hit Reactor 2, Captain.
Got it. We'll cover you till you're clear.
Okay. Still don't really know what we're working with here, but I suppose we'll do our best. All right, so still looks very poisonous down there, so that's lovely. The layout is ever so slightly different from the multiplayer map, at least in that some areas are blocked off at the moment. We have the crane display here. Okay. Oh, and spare parts we can salvage for monies. Don't mind if we do. So what is this? Is that us? Javik, what are you doing, man? Be careful. Okay, so we've gotta, what, move some stuffs? I assume?
Team 2.
Javik, be careful!
Good luck, Captain.
No movement. They're cowards.
There's a difference between caution and cowardice.
Not in how angry they make me.
Just stay sharp, people.
What happens if we run over Javik? Javik, if you just, like... Oh, we can't move them right now? Okay. They're technically out of the way. I was curious. So Javik is, I guess, far enough forward that he doesn't actually get hit, and Ashley is far enough back. You can sort of see her there. That she's not getting hit either. Because I really looked like we were going to send...
Directional guidance error.
Oh. We were going to send this thing coming after one of our teammates. Like, thought Javik was going to be in the way of that. I think that's all we have to do. I think we've now cleared out this spot for us. I think that's free. I think that is now open.
I have a visual on the fuel rod control, but radiation is blocking access.
Okay,
Same situation here. I'll find a way to vent the area.
so we can't get there yet. Yeah, because we still got the bad stuffs down here. Did it say A1 in the multiplayer version of this? I feel like it doesn't. Minor difference. Ammo and grenades. Vent Sector 1A, you say. But is there anything else over here? Is this still death and pain and suffering down here? Not seeing the green fumes, but I'm a little bit wary of that just perhaps being the angle at which I'm looking. Possibly? Maybe? Maybe not? So this is definitely the thing we are supposed to do, of course, but we've got to check if there's other stuff here first. Naturally, we must get ourselves into trouble first. I think. So yeah, the layout is very familiar, because it is, for the most part, the same as the multiplayer map. We have here, PDA, for credits, a whole lot of credits at that. That's not bad. Okay. Then, anything else over here? Question mark? Perhaps not. What is that? Hold on just a second. Suspicious. Very suspicious. Oh. There's the reactor restart. Okay, maybe that's the big thing. Hold on. In that case, we definitely walked right past something that we should probably still check out. The thing that we destroyed down there? Right there, wasn't it? We'll keep our eyes peeled for other such contraptions. You know? Okay. So, where was it? This?
This looks like ventilation control.
Should do the trick.
Radiation clearing. Console now accessible.
Sector is
Let's unlock those fuel rods.
Okay. We've ventilated the area so that we can now do that. Now go down here, it seems. Another PDA. More credits. Okay, and before we activate that fuel rod, let's... Yeah. These things. Let's get rid of them. I don't trust them. I don't trust them. There's also a medkit here for even more XPs. And I see you. You can't hide from me. You may recognize what those are from previous missions. Is that even one over there? Might be. Totally something glowing over there. You can't tell me there was not something glowing over there. There was definitely something glowing right here. There was definitely something glowing right there. I'm definitely not making that up. I didn't think I was making that up. Also, we found a way back around. Where did Riley go? They've disappeared. Okay. I imagine there's probably more of those things. Ones that we destroyed. But we have destroyed some of them. As I said, you may recognize them from a previous mission or two in which they've made appearances. No, that's just the lights from the stuffs we were seeing before. Go down here now for what it's worth, but... Did you see something light up? No, I didn't mean to do that, though. Okay, I'm being pokey, of course. But... you'll see why... in just a bit. Alright, I think we proceed now. I think we do proceed. But beforehand, let's just drop a 8. Then we'll do it.
Power is restored. System ready.
Fuel rods unlocked here. Wait a minute.
Commander, Captain, tracking movement in your areas.
Defense, the positions. Enemy inbound.
Enemy inbound indeed. We are not alone here. And, well, that's why I was taking interest in some of the stuff that we were deactivating before, because we've got Reapers, of all things. Are they spawning above us right now? They are spawning, or at least at Husk spawned above us, this Marauder. So the difficulty with our team composition here, is we don't have a great answer for shields. You are flying? Kind of, sort of? So that's the problem. That is the problem. That's not good. We did not activate Defense Matrix proactively? That's also a problem. This is not good. Mistakes have been made. We already have barriers starting to respawn, though. That's good. We would like to be on the Acolyte. Ashley's having some trouble. So we could Singularity. I'll tell you what, with Singularity, if you could actually do what I'm telling you to do, Shepard, that would be appreciated. This Marauder is once again taking notice of us. That was supposed to have you all blow up. It did not have you all blow up. Let's just chuck grenades at this guy because he's being really annoying. At least until we get rid of his shields. Now we can actually use biotics if we actually don't hit this wall in front of us.
Status.
One casualty, but we're clear here.
Warning. Coolant leaks detected. Reactors 1 and 2. System restart impossible.
So it really shouldn't have been that
Both have to
difficult.
seal all the moderator tanks.
I see the Reactor 2 tanks moving to seal.
Not that it was, as much as we just had a Marauder that we couldn't really get the shields off of all that easily, and we were kind of not with a good place to take cover from them. So now I think we're looking to go over here. Ah, I see more things that we probably want to destroy. And so now, you might remember what those are. Those are the Reaper barrier generators. And so, if they do remain standing, that means that, well, the enemies can more easily restore barriers, making them harder to take down, which is why getting rid of them proactively is helpful. So that's why I went around earlier and tried to make a point of destroying some of them, and why we just took out a couple more right there. So now I'm assuming is when we're, looking to activate stuff like this. Anything else for us to destroy around here? Are we doing well? Okay, let's do it.
Tank 1 is sealed and stable.
Okay, does that
Patching seems to be working. Only one more to go here.
activate enemigos? Perhaps? Perhaps not? Perhaps not. Seem to be in the clear. We leveled. That's pretty sweet.
Commander, the core is stabilized. Reactivation can go ahead.
Guessing we want to be in a better defensible position right now.
Word.
Or restart the reactor, because there may not be enemies here, but I imagine there will be once we do this. I imagine that will be the case.
Initiating restart.
Commander, Captain, I'm reading a lot of movement. Headed your way.
Okay.
Progress.
We've got company of our own.
We do have company of our own. So we've got husks down here. The husks are fine, because they're easy for us to target with our abilities.
They're coming in from above.
It's these guys that are more problematic. Husks are no big deal. Husks are no big deal. It's the marauders over there that are trickier. Conveniently, you're also walking straight into this. Oh, okay, you weren't in it yet, to be fair. Fair enough. I was mistaken, you also were not in that one. There is a marauder down here. I feel like we should be using the Acolyte again. I switched to the Hurricane because we wanted to take out that stuff that generated barriers. That is a marauder as well. That is unfortunate. Is that a marauder right there next to us? Or no, that's Java. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. And we just blow this up real quick. Oh. Well, the way you go. We are totally grabbing this. Oh, we did not get close enough to grab. So this is what the Acolyte's for. Removing shields efficiently. Not necessarily for taking out husks. More so taking out you. Miss. Miss. Oh, hello. Now that you are shieldless, I mean, you're about to die anyway. Oh, there's another marauder down there. That is definitely not going to hit you. Oh, hello. Speaking of marauders. Where'd you go? Did you drop down the ladder? You probably did. This is probably you. Now we can singularity you. Now we can take you out. Another marauder here. Wait for it. Over to the shields. And again, the Acolyte, because it has, I believe it's a 500% damage multiplier against shields, can usually one-shot shields of almost any enemy. Definitely saw more coming this way. That I did. Might have been two marauders, and in fact, one of them just walked straight into this singularity. I think that explosion did hit this marauder. Damaged it enough to get rid of its shields, which means we can re-singularity and re-blow you up.
Commander, we're being overrun. Position indefensible. We're not gonna make it.
Riley's getting overrun. Okay, so we can send in help, or we can say, just figure it out yourself. So, I think... I mean, we gotta help, right?
Hold tight. One of my people is coming.
Roger that.
Okay, so do we send Ashley or do we send Javik? Usually, I thought when it comes to instances where you can send teammates to do things for, like, disabling tech or helping out someone else who needs assistance, if they have a squad ammo effect, it usually is still active. I might be thinking back to Mass Effect 2 for this, though. But that means that maybe sending Ashley is not the worst idea, because we can still get her disruptor ammo. Whereas sending Javik, I mean, either way could probably work. We'll send Let's actually send Ashley. Yeah, let's do that.
Ash, you're on.
You got it.
Because we got a brute. Because we have a brute. And Javik is good against barriers because he has Dark Channel. But Javik, you should probably get out of there. Okay, well, the brute is almost dead already, for what it's worth. The brute is dead already. He's now... Oh, actually, this Javik's Dark Channel transferred over to that Marauder. That's why he's glowing a bit. But add that with an Acolyte. And, do we hit any of you with that Singularity? You are still shielded. That's not cool. Or... Now we Singularity. Get you both. Other one might have already been dead. And make you a boom.
You're clear for the moment, Commander. Can't raise Captain Riley.
What about Ash?
Nothing, Commander. No one's answering my hails. But I'm tracking some movement toward the pickup point. Finalize the restart, then we can rendezvous there.
Will do.
Okay, so we can initiate the final setup. Yes. However... I mean, that wave right there, not that difficult. It was just a single brute and 2 Marauders, and basically took down that brute immediately. This area down here, we never really... we were kind of down here before, I suppose. This is actually inside the reactor itself, which, in multiplayer, is a lot of fun. For those of you who have not tried Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, first of all, it's a ton of fun. Especially because in this arena... you can activate this reactor, and after a short delay, it will fry anything inside here, including enemies, and including players, which is good for a laugh or two every now and again, because it's a little crazy. Okay, let's just drop a quick save here, but then let's initiate this startup,
Restart is complete.
because that is the reactor.
Operational, Commander.
Okay, now it looks like we're just getting out of here. Any enemies? Or are we just waltzing on out, no big deal? Because it feels like we're just waltzing on out. Any signs of our teammates here? Might have blocked off the way we came in here, but we should be able to go around down this way. Guess we could have gone straight through the reactor. Picked up that med kit already. Team? Hello? Oh! There they are. How's everybody doing? Ash? Riley?
Commander, you saved our asses. My team is in your debt.
Thank Lieutenant Commander Williams.
Just doing my job.
Well, good thing we sent Ashley over to help. Looks like they certainly could use that help. They all look pretty beat up. Ashley's looking fine. Those two, less so. Anything in this corner over here? Does corner exist in multiplayer? It does, right? Just rarely any reason to go back here. Anything else from you? Oh no, that's just leaving. Alright.
Job well done. Report back to the shuttles.
Good work down there, Shepard. Without that depot, the entire theater would be at risk.
What are the odds the Reapers will be back?
I'm allocating a task force to maintain and defend the facility. If the Reapers come back, we'll be ready. I read Captain Raleigh's report. It says she and her team wouldn't have made it without you.
I'm glad I could help.
I'll keep you posted on new developments. Hack it out.
Alright. Funding, reputation. And I believe Not only, of course, did we finish that mission itself, N7 fuel reactors, and for those of you not sure what I was referring to when I said there's this Mass Effect 3 multiplayer challenge, if it means anything to you, Cyone Chargers is the challenge that I was referring to, that is based on that mission right there, trying to recreate that mission as closely as possible in Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, using, of course, the multiplayer map that is based on that arena, and using someone playing as Riley and someone playing as the Turian, who is helping out, and just two people alone. So, other than that, I don't think there's going to be much new here for us to chat about with this squad. Oh, the other thing, though, is that by completing that mission, obviously, that was N7 fuel reactors, yes. However, I think we also picked up the quest item for Citadel chemical treatment. A doctor is looking for a way to treat a patient with chemical burns. Find a treatment plan and deliver it to the Huerta Memorial Hospital. We found that at the very beginning of that mission. I suppose it makes sense given how, what, radioactive area.
Popular for a while. They were fighting the collectors while the council sat and watched.
And now they're killing civilians and attacking our allies.
I missed who they were talking about when they said this. But yeah, you know, a reactor with, like, probably has the potential for a whole bunch of workplace accidents, so having a plan to treat chemical burns makes some sense.
Commander?
Hello. Emails? None here. In terms of how much monies we have, 87,000, I do not think is going to be enough for us to buy any big things at the Citadel, because again, for the most part, I think everything is going to be over 100,000. At least all the big stuff that we would like to get is over 100,000 at this stage. So unless there are other quests that we would like to address at this point in time, I think we will find that even once we hopefully turn in this little quest here, that probably still not going to be enough to do anything major, other than if we wanted to, you know, continue to buy relatively small weapon upgrades. So, I mean, we could stop off there. We could also, instead, since it's just one little thing, make a point of doing another sort of medium-sized mission. I was thinking about going with Air Ray X Cerberus Scientists. It may not be a main quest mission. It is, however, somewhat large, somewhat significant. A group of top-level scientists have cut ties with Cerberus and are fleeing their former employer. Rescue the scientists before Cerberus can find them. So, this one does intrigue me. We got it a little while ago. Oh, we leveled up again? Right now we have 13 points? So, what? This is 9 right here, so we don't have enough to fully upgrade Defense Matrix, but we're close. And we forgot to activate Defense Matrix for a little while there, so it was kind of hard to say which one we would have preferred, the shield restoration improved or the passive damage reduction. But I think we just go for one of them and deal with it. I think we just go for it and deal with it. Feel like we might want durability. That, like I said, that was the way I was leaning before, so let's go that route. And we'll go definitely shield recharge. Because that kind of makes up for not having quite as many shields, for sure. Get him back more quickly, back up to full, and the tech power synergy just does not help us much at all. This last one is either reduce the power speed penalty by 50%. How much is it? Is it 50? 60. Wow. That's pretty significant. But basically cut it in half here, and at that point it's pretty minor. So there's little downside to having Defense Matrix active at that stage. Certainly, it's worth the 20% damage reduction, which technically is 20% damage reduction while in cover, because you get better damage reduction while in cover in any circumstance. So in truth, when we're walking around, I don't know exactly what the number is, but it's probably closer to on the order of like 15%, which is not a huge amount, but it's something. And the big thing is, that little bonus plus having the ability to get back shield gate when needed. So this is either 10% additional damage reduction, is okay. That starts to become pretty big. Or power recharge speed. I think we're probably still going to go power recharge speed. I think that's probably what we'll do. But we don't have the points for that one yet. Could throw some additional points into Shockwave, but that's, I don't think, urgent at this stage. So let's take a look at our map here. So that's Cyone. 100% assets recovered here. So we're totally fine, and we finished that mission. It was not a main quest mission, so our theory before of, do we get full fuel back after finishing a mission? I think I was always stating it as main quest mission because we definitely have seen before. Small missions like that, we definitely don't refuel. So, only at about half here. But let's head through the mass relay. And let's at least look at... What is it? Oh, we've 100% explored where we're expecting to find the Cerberus scientists. Is it in the first system, the place where we first arrived? If so, then fine, we don't need any fuel. If not, then it might be worth taking a quick pit stop at the Nimbus cluster, get the free fuel we have lying around so that way we can more easily make it straight over there without having to actually purchase fuel. So let's just check. Okay, it does not. It is not in this first area. So let's double back real quick, because we don't have much fuel, and there's actually not even a fuel station here. We might not even be able to make it if we wanted to. Let's go here first. Just to nab this. This is 650 fuel, which I think is actually almost the perfect amount for us right now, so that worked quite well. We have now topped it off at 1,000. Okay, so now let's head over. And fortunately, it's not too far away. Okay, and so I believe we've explored this whole area. I think, well, we should be able to scan to our heart's content because we have a mission here. So the Reapers will not show up, but I thought we saw this system was 100% explored, so I don't think there's anything else over here. I feel like we went to Fortis, explored everything there, obviously got 100% of the assets out of it, and then we didn't go here because we knew that we had a mission, and it just so happened that there was nothing to scan here, but we didn't actually visit and read up on the planets or anything like that. So let's take a quick look here. We have Nearest, a moderate-sized hydrogen-helium gas giant, is of mild interest to Turian scientists because of its abnormal atmospheric composition. The planet has only a fraction of the expected methane, with high levels of carbon monoxide and ethylene instead. Next we have Antonax, which is a large terrestrial planet. Antonax has been passed over by the Turians and potential investors alike. And this is still in Asari space here, not Turian space. We're hearing all this mention of Turians, but maybe the planet we're looking to go to, Ere, is actually a Turian colony, despite being in what would generally be considered more Asari space. When the Turians won the planet from the Krogan, okay, that explains some things. They sought to sell mineral rights, but ultimately found no buyers. One survey team dubbed it a stinking world with nothing to recommend it but brimstone and bad steel, and, like Jelix, the planet was soon forgotten. Despite being further from its parent star than Jelix, Antonax has a thick atmosphere of nitrogen, methane, and ethane greenhouse gases that retain significant heat. There are few valuable minerals on Antonax, the most abundant being sulfur and iron. So yeah, actually 214 degrees Celsius, despite it being a little ways away from the star, whereas Jelix, it sounds like, despite being closer, might be a little bit cooler. Jelix was given to the Krogan after the Rachni Wars, but bitterly contested in the Krogan rebellions and reconquered by the Turians. Whoa. Reconquered by the Turians, that sounds like something that the Krogan would do. This left the Turians as caretakers to a levoamino acid-based world that they could not inhabit themselves, but were unwilling to give up. That's just bad manners. Like, we can't even live here, but we're gonna stop you from living here because we don't like you. And that's the only reason why we're doing this. In cooperation with the Vol Protectorate, as in the Volus? Is that what that? I actually don't remember if the Volus society as a whole is called the Vol Protectorate. The Turians attempted to rent the planet out for colonization, probably to the Volus. That would make sense in that case. Between the high price and a surface littered with unexploded ordnance, however, Jelix found few reputable tenants. Its most notable inhabitants were penal colonies. To those who know of it today, Jelix is a symbol of tragic waste, an entire garden world nearly forgotten by the galaxy at large. It's a garden world. Only 54,000 people. Brogans in 658, Turians several hundred years after that. 4 degrees Celsius on average is a little bit on the cool side, but okay, atmosphere is also quite thin and gravity a little light, but we will of course land there shortly. We also have Eros though. Eros is a Turian word meaning overlook or pleasant view, not to be confused with humanity's mythological Eros. The name refers to the planet's nearly absent atmosphere, allowing visiting probes and rovers a sweeping view of its volcanic mountains. Eros's hematite deposits gives the world a reddish color. Accessible deposits of iron and copper have attracted second-tier Turian and Volus conglomerates that robo-mine the surface. Yeah, and so because it has a trace atmosphere, despite being super close to the parent star, 127 degrees Celsius is not cold, but we'd still expect it to be much warmer given how close it is. So, the plan here, let's take a look real quick at our quest log to see what the deal is with this mission. So we're talking about Ere ex-Cerberus scientists. A group of top-level scientists have cut ties with Cerberus and are fleeing their former employer. Rescue the scientists before Cerberus can find them. That's the idea. So let's land. Okay, and for this mission, I think we're gonna want to have at least one person who is particularly good against shields. At times we've used Garrus for that role. That is not necessarily his strongest suit, but he's capable because he has overload, and of course he just has boatloads of weapon damage, which can work on shields as well. Edie is perhaps a little, well, I mean, she also has overload, so in that sense, she's also, in the same way that Garrus is, capable of taking out shields that way, although Edie we expect more for the AoE overload, whereas Garrus is more single-target overload, for whatever that's worth. Tally has energy drain, also a great anti-shield ability, and has all of her drones, which are really good at stunning peoples, so that's an option. Liara might be worth including as our other non-anti-shields person for crowd control purposes. Of course, we were saying that we use Garrus and Liara a whole lot as of late, but we did spend a few missions without Liara, so maybe it might be time to bring her back. Javik, I think, might just be a slightly less effective Liara in this situation, so we might still want to stick with Liara. James, I don't think this is the right fit for him, because he's mostly an anti-armor person and not really a crowd control person either, so against shields and with some need for crowd control, just not a good fit. Ashley does have her disruptor ammo, so there's something to be said for that. That does help a bit with shields, but might still prefer having a dedicated shield active ability, like Overload, like Energy Drain, things of that sort. She also, of course, packs a big punch with her weapons, much like Garrus does, but again, Garrus has Overload to complement that, whereas Ashley does not. She does have her concussive shot, which, did we upgrade that all the way so that it can take on the effects of her ammo? I don't know if we did. We were eyeing it before, but I don't remember if we actually took that or not. So I'm feeling like, let's go with Liara for the crowd control. It's been a while since we used her, so I feel a little bit better about taking her here, and I think on this occasion, this is going to be a challenging enough mission that we may not be able to be too clever about it. The other thing that we'd like to do here would be to try to take someone who is a squad mate from Mass Effect 2 for lore reasons, or dialogue reasons, really, if you can. So, Liara, I don't know if she technically qualifies by that criteria, but Garrus potentially would, Tali potentially would, and kind of sort of EDI. So maybe we go EDI here. Remind me, power damage for this armor bonus, our recharge speed for this one, shields for that one. We definitely have not checked this previously. Recharge speed, what did we have? We had power damage, didn't we? Per default one, or starting one. We might prefer recharge speed, to tell you the truth. We might prefer recharge speed. I think we might go that route. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, then for weapons, we should be pretty good here. But for squad mates, this is EDI. And for her, that is certainly perhaps the biggest downside of this team we just chose, is we have two people who are not exactly big weapons people, so I'm immediately regretting this decision a little bit, at least on that front. We don't have a lot of weapon power. Not a lot of weapon damage. Scorpion is still not bad. So, as pistols go, it should help. The Hurricane also packs a pretty mean punch for an SMG, if we can handle that. I mean, like, squad mates, I think, generally handle recoil better than players do. So hopefully that's fine, but like range, the Hurricane does not have much range. It is a very close range weapon. Scorpion mid-range, I think it's fairly accurate. Just not sure to what extent you can really fire it from long distance. Guess that works. And of course, again, with both people being on Hurricane, or at least being on SMG and pistol, means we're probably talking about Hurricane and Scorpion for both of them, unless we want to try to set someone up for something different. Like, we could put the arc pistol on someone to try to give them better range, but I'm not sure that that's the best for squad mates, because it's another weapon that charges up, and squad mates tend not to charge up weapons that can charge up, so they just don't fully benefit from the full power that those weapons provide. We could give either of them the stabilizing module as well. Not sure how necessary that is for our squad mates, because again, they have a little more ability to handle recoil than players tend to have. So they might be fine. Could also put the power amp on the SMG for either our squad mates, but I think we'll stick with this. Well, similar to what we were talking about for us. They're only firing their weapons for a relatively short period of time with the Hurricane. It might make sense for stability over the heatsink. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I meant to do that for Liara. I meant to switch that over for Liara as well, so that that way they're hitting as many shots as they can in a short period of time, and presumably they're only going through one, maybe two clips before the use for that weapon is done, and then they'd be switching back to the Scorpion. But anyways, for us, we were saying we could potentially invest a few more points in the Shockwave here. It's been very, very rare that we've needed this ability, although there actually is something to be said for having this up at rank 3. Oh no, we can't. We don't have enough points to do that yet, so that is a moot point, because there are some enemies where their stun threshold is 1,000 newtons. Actually, I'm not sure if on insanity that is still the case or if it might be slightly higher than that. But yeah, despite Shockwave not having that much damage, the force is actually much bigger than the damage is, relatively speaking. But I mean, still, at this point, mostly just an ability for hitting people through walls. And that's kind of niche, so I think we'll be fine without that. Liara, it's been a while since we used you, and same with Edie, actually. So, let's see. For you, Liara, we were hoping that we would get warp up to squad ammo, so we would use you for an ammo power, and we would use Ashley for an ammo power, as we saw from a relatively recent mission that we did. So, I think we probably do go that route here, because we otherwise would not have any ammo powers from any of our squad mates here. So, warp ammo does extra damage to enemies that are affected by biotic abilities, and so in that way it does work really well with Liara, and it does work really well with us too. It does give us extra health damage, not a huge deal, because most of the time if an enemy is down to health, they're about to be dead. Armor damage and barrier damage, though, that's pretty nice, because that can start to hit bosses for additional damage, and that's where it tends to matter more. So, and armor weakening as well is convenient. So let's go just damage here. And then squad bonus here. So again, we're getting it, as is Edie in this case, but at 50% efficiency. Still 13% health, 13% armor, 20% barrier, 12.5% armor weakening, and the lifted target damage is a little misleading. It is any enemy that is affected by biotic damage over time effects or just general duration effects from biotics, that could be singularity as well. They are going to take an additional 75% damage, or for us, 37.5, which is still a lot. So that's why it works really well for us. Then 4 points left is, well, it means we can't do anything with you. So you're going to need a level before we can upgrade anything else. For Edie, where do things stand with you? We, of course, have started to invest points in Defense Matrix. We've not yet done that for Edie. Of course, when we die, it's game over. When Edie dies, it isn't necessarily game over, so that's one of the reasons. Check Unshackled AI, the last one here. Squad mate tech powered damage and duration. Definitely not. Decrease shield recharge delay by 20%. On Edie alone, in this case, if that were for the entire squad, that'd be amazing. But that is very nice defensively, at least. So that would help keep her alive. So that is tempting, but it is 6 points, so that is kind of expensive. Decoy. I don't remember. There are some enemies that this works better on than others. Don't recall which specifically those are, however, and whether those will or will not be the enemies showing up during this mission, which makes that a little bit tougher to say as to whether we ought to invest in this now or wait until later. Because I don't think we're going to invest all that much in this one. It's probably just going to be up to rank 4. So maybe we just stick with that where it currently is. What if we do... Sure, we'll do Unshackled AI. Give her the better recharge delay. As in the reduced recharge delay. And then put the rest in Defense Matrix, which should mean we can get you up to rank 3. At which point you are getting worse cooldown, because of course that is the downside of Defense Matrix. But hopefully it's good enough with the additional shield restores when it gets purged. I mean, really, rank 4 is where it starts to get better still, but once you have all this stuff, then hopefully it's good enough to warrant keeping this active and suffering from that cooldown reduction. Yeah, so I think we stick with this. I think this is the plan.
What's the word? Do we know how long these scientists have been holed up out here?
We have not been provided many details.
Sir, I'm picking up chatter from a Cerberus squad engaging the supply depot.
Engaging the scientists?
What?
And if I'm reading it right, sounds like more troops are on the way.
Okay, set us down, then get out of here. I need these scientists alive.